Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakar Kadash. Double honors to the elders for preaching His word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely as well too. And I say shalom to you Akim out there. And this is a sit-down lesson that I want to bring out from RT.com. And this was published April the 26th, 2023. Business news category from RT.com. And it reads, Argentina drops dollar in trade with China. It says, Buenos Aires will pay for import in won after signing a currency swipe deal with Beijing. Argentina will aim to pay for the bulk of its monthly import from China in won rather than the U.S. dollar. The economy minister Shigeru Masa announced on Wednesday the Buenos Aires as Beijing signed a current swipe agreement last year aimed at stemming with the overflow of foreign currency from Argentina's central bank. China is currently Argentina's second largest trade partner after Brazil and the second biggest destination for Argentina in export. Argentina's total import for China was about 13.5 billion in 2021, according to the United Nations database on international trade. The Masa said that the Buenos Aires, if I pronounced that right, which is, part of Argentina, will pay the equivalent of 1 billion in won for Chinese goods and service this month, with 790 million of monthly import pays for its won each month thereafter. The currency swipe agreement expanded and finalized earlier this year also allows Argentina exporters to make settlement in won or dollars to help balance the flow of foreign currency in central bank. On a visit to China early this month, Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva called on developing nations to move away from the U.S. dollar in favor of their own currency. India is also working to use its own currency or won to settle the trade with China, while Russia starts to accept payments for its exports from a number of countries in rupees and Chinese yuan. The dollar share in global reserve fell 10 times faster last year than over the past 2 decades. Wow, that's a lot. It says the CEO of London-based asset manager company Arizona, Stephen Jin, recently told Bloomberg the process has accelerated after other countries saw Russia's U.S. dollar and euro denounce assets from abroad, and Moscow cut off from the global financial messaging system known as SWIFT. The U.S. Secretary of Treasury Janet Yellen recently admitted that the role of the dollar as the world reserve currency will be diminished to Washington using its leverage over the global financial system to pursue the geopolitical goals through sanctions. Right, so as we see now, it's continually to show forth these nations are definitely ditching the American dollar and the euro dollar as well too. as they once was. They used to trust in the American dollar. Now the nations are turning away from the American dollar as well too. So they coming, either they're being allies with other nations to come to an agreement to make import and export of goods of from China is an example. Brazil is another example. India is an example of, they coming with their own form of currency, or they doing trade, importing and exporting with China and Russia and many other nations, with which they are doing right now, to turn away from the euro dollar and the American dollar as well too. And soon to come, the American dollar is not going to be a dependent on top global currency no more very soon. So we definitely starting to see that increase now, so more than ever, as these countries come with their own form of currency, or they're being allies with these other nations to use shares and trades, you know, especially one of them with China, because you got Argentina doing trade with China now so more than ever. And you have Brazil as of recently doing trade with China as well too. In India, they follow in the lead. I believe they did a trade with Bangladesh to ditch the American dollar. So you having nations that's teaming up together as economic partners to come with their own form of currency, or team up with their alliance of their allies, coming together on an economic scale to ditch the American dollar and the euro dollar as well too. Those are prime examples. We've been seeing that for the past couple of weeks, So we're starting to see the increasing of downfall of the American dollar, as these nations are ditching the American dollar and the euro dollar as well too, because we're going to be entering this new form of currency, which is this central digital bank currency. Because you have these other nations are turning away from the American dollar and the euro dollar as well too, because everything is going to be digital, which leads to central digital bank currency. And I'm gonna bring out the Revelations 13 verse 16, as we getting closer and closer living out the book of Revelations, because that central digital bank currency is coming, and that's part of the CHIP. This is which is the MARK, that charagma, the new form of currency, which is the central digital bank currency. This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich or poor, free or bond, to receive that MARK, which is, the charagma, in their RIGHTHAND, or in their FOREHADS. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 17, and it reads through the Holy Scriptures, and that no man might buy or sell, say he that had the MARK,